I'm Pauline. I'm a fashion designer, and I designed a gown for Eva Noblezada.
Suddenly the sunlight, bright and warm. Suddenly I'm holding the world in my arms.
Yes, that is in fact 100% factual. I am not joking. Like,
No
no
cap
cap
on
on
God, bro.
God, bro. Like, this actually happened. There's so much happening right now, and I feel like I'm on cloud nine, not just because of this project, but because for the last month and a half, I have been dousing myself with art and creativity. I created a full bridal collection of 5 looks, and I even created this beautiful leve look. I made a ball gown for my sister. And honestly, like, there's just so much happening right now. The only way for me to tell you the story properly is to start at the beginning. Pauline was a very hungry girl, and she spent most of her life drowning in theater. She loved ballet, she loved musicals. She grew up wanting to perform that sort of musical performance throughout her life, even if she didn't end up becoming a musical actress or an actress in general. She realized that, being an artist, being dramatic is an essential part of her personality, and she brought that magic of theater into her life, and she manifested this sort of, audience for herself. Part of this audience comes friends and connections. And around the end of April, my friend Maddy had sent me an Instagram story from Eva Noblezada, who had posted about how she wanted to connect with more artists and designers for her upcoming projects. And I didn't really take it seriously when she had sent me. We sent our pitches and we just kind of like let it float there in the ether, and we didn't think much of it. Honestly, like, I really didn't think anything would come out of it. It was more like a shot in the dark, really. Like, I did not expect anything to come out of it. Later, I was on vacation at the Grand Hyatt for my parents' anniversary, and lo and behold, Eva messages me asking to book an appointment because she needs a dress for the Tribeca Film Festival, where she is going to be performing with her husband Reeve Carney for the upcoming Proshot release of Hadestown. And the first thing that I thought of was, wow, like, little me would like explode from joy because I am a huge fan of Eva Noblezada, okay? Like, I grew up watching all kinds of bootlegs, slime tutorials, and when I came across her as an artist, I felt so connected to her work. Not just because she's a Filipino and, like, you know how we are kababayans, but like, I just loved her voice. I loved her aura, and I felt like such a connection to her. Like, it sounds parasocial, but I mean it as an artist. Like, I respected her craft, I respected her persona that she displayed online, and I fell in love with her through The Great Gatsby. So for her to reach out to me like this was absolutely like such a dream come true already. Like, just that DM alone. And I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere still. So I was like, haha, okay, let's meet. I was so excited that I began to prepare a pitch for her. That's something I actually do for most of my clients. If they give me the pegs, they give me the rough idea of what they want to wear, I am able to actually create a pitch for them, and they can just like revise everything after. So that's what I did. And I have to admit, I am more of like a Great Gatsby girl, so I wasn't super familiar with Hadestown, but I did kind of like, skim the show a bit. Like, I pretty much understood it because I'm also a huge Greek mythology nerd. I love studying Greek mythology. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in like my last monthly favorites video. Hadestown is actually a musical adaptation of the story of Hades and Persephone, and also of Orpheus and Eurydice, who play the main characters in this musical. Eurydice is played by Eva Noblezada, and obviously her husband plays Orpheus. It's so romantic. Look up the lore, it is so adorable. And the gist of the show is basically, it is a retelling of these tales. The core of Hadestown is all about how stories repeat themselves and how fate is intertwined with love and justice, and also all manners of survival. I think it's so difficult to really piece it all in one sentence because it is such a deep show. While I was restudying the plot, I realized that I could not go by this alone. So I joined a LARPing society, and I reached out to my sisters over at Seoul for some, knowledge. And I didn't tell them what it was for, but I did ask them to tell me all about Hades now. One of my friends, Frankie, aka Kitty, shared a lot of interesting tidbits with me, and it helped me really understand better the story of Hadestown and how I can relate this to the upcoming garment that she wanted to wear for the pro shot reveal.
You can view it in many different ways. One is a commentary on kind of like, you know, naive love and just like a kind of quick falling in love situation. And is love all we need? Sort of like a Christian and Satine thing, if you remember Moulin Rouge. And it's both a commentary on how like retellings over time tend to change aspects of the tale, as well as the idea that if we learn from the mistakes of our past, we learn from the stories of our past, eventually somebody's going to come along and get her out, get Eurydice out, and not look back in their own lives, even if it didn't end up that way for Orpheus and Eurydice. For Eurydice is also a starving girl. She's a hungry girl. She's had to survive for so long. She's a little bit, I would say, Eponine coded, and you see that even in her like outfits, she's got a rough life and she's learning to fend for herself. And so while she, you see that All I've Ever Known, it's this idea of like Orpheus's love being something that's so new to her and so refreshing. But how long does that last to somebody who's only ever known hunger? And how long can you trust that before you really see yourself ventures into Hadestown, takes a contract with essentially, capitalism, with like trading love for money?
It's all about how stories are retold, and sometimes the story repeats itself. Sometimes we repeat history's mistakes, and it's all about the hope that maybe one day we can break out of that old narrative, break past our mistakes and find a better future for ourselves. And intertwined in all of that is the story of love and hope and connection with another person. There's a lot to do with Hades and Persephone's connection and how they were drifting apart throughout the entire musical, and also how Orpheus and Eurydice battled a lot with survival versus love, practicality versus passion. And that struck me so deeply because that's something I reflect on quite a lot as a lover. I have a boyfriend, and I think about that a lot. So I ended up translating that story of fate and romance into this dress. This is the dress, actually. If you didn't realize it, this is the dress that Eva is wearing for the Tribeca Film Festival. And the initial pitch I had was all about how the ghost of Eurydice will always be intertwined. This story of her and Orpheus, they will always find each other in every universe. So that, sort of red string theory, it's all very abstract to me even until now, but I feel like when you see like my mood board, you can kind of capture that feeling of, how the red string, how destiny intertwines two lovers to the point that they will find each other no matter what. And even if it takes a million different reincarnations, they're still gonna find a way to be together at the very end. And I feel like it reflects really well in how the Hadestown story retells itself over and over and over again, with the hope of, maybe one day they will finally tell the happy ending. But for now, we all have to just hope. And that's what I kind of wanted the dress to be. And aside from obviously all of that sappy stuff, I also wanted to reference the poster, the original Broadway cast recording album cover. This beautiful, I believe it is a poppy flower or a pomegranate flower, I could be wrong, but I wanted to reference the flower. Could also be a carnation, honestly. I tried to research it. There's a lot of theories on what the flower is, but I settled on the carnation slash poppy flower mix. Obviously going for a red and black color scheme because I just felt like it. I felt like it was like what Eva might want to wear. With that, I took my research and also a bunch of pegs that Eva had sent me. I wanted it to be kind of ghostly, very mythology inspired, very Grecian, like a bunch of drapes, and very ethereal. And I took that and mixed it with my concept and came up with this story of Eurydice's ghost lingering in the back of Orpheus's mind. And I wanted to capture that feeling of grief, but also hope, and this idea of how Orpheus might continue to live on even without Eurydice with him. I wanted to capture that memory of Eurydice, the tragic end of Eurydice, into this gown. And I feel like I kind of ended up with a very ghostly Grecian inspired design. It's very dark. It's almost reminiscent of Crimson Peak and Mother Mary, the red fabric. And I just wanted it to feel very light and airy, something that Eva would float in. And I ended up pitching this to her, and luckily, again, for me, Eva really loved the pitch. Like, she told me that she loved the idea of it being very gothic and very dark, which matched me, like, bar for bar. Like, I'm a very dark and romantic person, so I feel like we pretty much aligned on concept, which is a rare occurrence for any designer, really. It's only happened to me once before, so for it to happen the second time, that's amazing. Okay, it's May 2. It's like around 11 a.m., I think, and we're about to hop on a call with Eva to discuss her design. And I'm actually super excited because I'm a huge fan of hers, and I actually can't wait to get and discuss everything. Like, this is like a dream project of mine, and I'm like actually giddy and freaking out. This is the bedroom setup right now. I had to sleep facing the mirror because my sisters wanted to share the main bed like behind me. So yeah, I didn't want to share a bed with anybody, so I ended up taking the extra bed, which is, I think, is totally fine. My ears low-key are popping every like 10 seconds because I can't really hear well and I can't handle the altitude for some reason. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Wait, don't look yet.
Okay, I didn't see anything.
Okay, like, what are the biggest motifs of the musical? And they told me it was about destiny and about how some stories are doomed to repeat until we learn from them. And I thought, like, that was such a beautiful concept. I have a lot of like organza in mind for this.
Oh, beautiful.
So you mentioned you like dark romantic look. So this is what I came up with. Lots of dark tones, a lot of red, and a layer of black on top. Look for a lace that we can cut out and applique at the bottom, so it kind of looks like a trail of like roses or carnations, like from the musical.
Gosh, that is so stunning.
Okay, so
I'm speechless.
yay!
I was so honored that you're so excited that your friend sent your page. And the second I went on it, I was like, oh, I hope she's available because this is incredible and this is perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to, collaborate with me, and I'm so excited. Original with your design. I'm so happy to just be the body in it.
Oh, thank you so much. That is a huge
just,
compliment coming from you, genuinely. Oh my gosh. Like, super.
You're so talented, and I'm even more excited about this look now, knowing how much like time and thoughtfulness you put into just creating that design. And I love mythology as well. There's just something so timeless and mythical, obviously, but yeah, I couldn't have even dreamed of a dress that beautiful. So you've just like blown my mind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Typically, when you make a bespoke garment like this, it takes around, 3 to 6 months. And I'm being very generous when I say 3 months. And for me to accept this challenge meant that I would have to create this garment in less than a month. So in days, pretty much like less than 20 days. And that is a huge undertaking for me. But luckily, at the time that she inquired, I had no other clients, so I decided to go for it. And, I feel like it was all in the universe and God's timing that she came to me at the right, perfect time. Because if she had come to me like a week later, I wouldn't have been able to take this order. So I'm very lucky. And from there, the clock started to tick towards a very short and speedy deadline. The timeline was already very short, so I had to get started right away. And I already had a sewer, thank God, so I coordinated with him. So I had him make the base while I focused on curating all the supplies and making sure I had everything I needed for the beading, the pleating, and everything. And it took around 2 weeks for the sewer to complete the base of the garment, because obviously it is a very complicated design. There's a lot of layering going on, and I had a lot of instructions. I'm so sorry to my sewer. I had so many particular instructions for the construction of the garment. I wanted a specific type of layering to go on, and when we had met to discuss the upper layers, I changed my mind about how the drape should go, and I feel like I made the right choice, because originally it was supposed to be a sleeker sort of drape. Like, I feel like it would have been a little less, gathered towards the bottom. But I decided to push for a more flowy style from the, hip going down, especially for the last 2 layers, because the lace underneath is a very straight cut sort of drape, and I felt like it was, missing that element of etherealness. Yeah, I just wanted to be like a lot more dramatic here, especially sa skirt. But other than that, like okay na, maganda na siya. Like maganda na medyo slim yung cut nandito, pero I like yung may drape na ganito dito. Na sobrang dramatic kasi parang
More alien siya, big
mas
alien.
bigger. Cut ko pa yung lace. I have to still cut this. And luckily, I made that choice because when it came back, it was so, so beautiful. I'm in the middle of sewing my Louis outfit, and my outfit arrived for Eva. Let's put on the dress form. And here it is. This is the base of Eva's dress. Now, I have to steam it still, and the appliques haven't been added yet, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at it. It's so beautiful in real life. Oh, she's gonna look like a medieval princess. Oh my god. Guys, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at it. Ah! Oh my god, I can't believe this is real. My life is not real. I was very grateful to my sewer. Shout out to Sir Ferdinand because he put that together so well, and he did it very professionally, and I'm very grateful for him because if he wasn't there, I wouldn't have this garment in time. With the base done, now it was my turn to take over the project. A lot of my design expertise usually is not just curation and design, but also for beading and the details. Like I love adding details like pleating, ruching, and I called on my friend Sophie Aranas to help me with the ruching, like the little micro pleating, because she was very good at it and she kind of taught me how to do it as well. As you can see, like it's very, very detailed. There's a lot of texture happening, and I feel like it was such a beautiful choice to, instead of following the symmetrical layering, we ended up going for a more asymmetrical pleating because it felt a little bit more organic and it felt more like tatters of, Eurydice's dress. Like, as she left the underworld, obviously there was a bit of struggle. We wanted to capture that ghostly effect as well. Sophie did such a good job with the short amount of time we had. Like, I think we only had maybe 2 or 3 days of ruching, pleating to do. I keep saying ruching, it's pleating. It was an experience, honestly. Like, there was a lot of learning, and I was so scared to burn the dress because we decided to edge it with fire because, underworld, Hadestown, fire, like it just connected really perfectly. So we decided to burn the edges of the organza, and I was really risking it all with that lighter, but I managed to do everything without even a single singe on the garment, thank god. This one definitely also plays with light because when you shine a bright light at it, and because again she's performing on the stage and I know the stage, I wanted the organza to shine through the tulle and kind of collect the shadow of the black and give it an extra, oomph. The black of the tulle really adds an extra layering and shadowing to the two-tone organza, because while the organza itself already has a shade of black woven into it, I feel like adding the tulle gave it a certain amount of depth that you wouldn't have if you just had the organza on its own. And the lace, I just wanted to add because it reminded me of the poster, the album cover, and I wanted to continue this concept of flowers and spring blooming again despite all the despair happening. Which brings me to the flowers. So whenever I go to DV, I love to take a look at the fake flowers that line the many, many stalls. And at one point when I was sourcing fabrics with my sister, we stopped across this gigantic fabric flower store. So beautiful, like filled to the brim with all kinds of florals. And I spotted with my little eye that this beautiful, like, poppy flower in a dark two-tone black and red again. And at first, I was hesitant to buy it because I had already purchased, a redder version of that flower on Shopee, and it had arrived and I loved it, but I felt like a calling towards this specific flower. And I decided to purchase it for myself and, make the rash decision and purchase it despite already having the materials, because I thought, I feel like this would do a lot better. And I'm so glad, guys, as a designer, if you are a designer, an artist, always listen to your artistic instinct, because when I compared the two flowers, the new flower ended up blending so much better to the garment itself. I feel like if I had gone with the red one, it would be too much of a contrast and it would kind of come off as tacky and too costumey. And I still wanted this garment, as performance level ready as it is, I still wanted it to feel like a, almost couture gown, like with all the details, matching, cohesiveness. I like that blending of sorts because I know a lot of people like to contrast their garments, but I love it when the garment is cohesive and, the same more or less all throughout, if you know what I mean, because yeah. And yeah, it's so hard to explain. Side tangent, it is so hard to explain the artistic process because when when the idea comes to an artist's head, it just sounds like a whole lot of mumbo jumbo, like that no the possessed, we sound like we're possessed, but when we put it on actual paper, when we actually make the thought in our head, it makes sense, right? Like you get what we're trying to say, like we let the work speak for ourselves. But when it comes to YouTube videos like these, like I have a hard time, but I guess that's my challenge for myself, to be able to articulate better what I'm trying to express through my art. Luckily, my sewer had already done all the draping, so after the pleating and the flowers, I ended up beading, so it was very simultaneous.
How to get to Hadestown? You'll have to take a long way down through the underground in the cover of night.
Okay, this is the progress so far. Let's look at it. Wow. She's so pretty so far. I think, yeah, she needs the appliques here and then it'll look a bit more complete. Because I feel like the white, if you're looking at it, the white is definitely throwing everyone off. Because you can't really focus because you're looking at the white. But once that's off, once the pins are gone, we are going to be able to applique the thing in full. It's gonna look so pretty. I'm excited. I'm up early because I have a meeting with a client today, and oh my gosh, look at that. It is shiny, so pretty on the dress. I'm actually so proud of the progress we made so far. Like, I know it's not really obvious yet, but we actually got so much done yesterday. Like, if you take a look at this, like last week, it was not even like remotely complete. So now we have the pleating more or less started. We only have to do the appliquing left, and also obviously we have to finish all the weaving and the flowering so that we can get the design done. But I'm actually so proud of it so far. I'm actually really hyped to see how the final dress is going to look. Look at her so far.
You're on the lam, you're on the run. Don't give your name, you don't have one. Don't look no one in the eye. The town will try to suck you dry. They'll suck your brain, they'll suck your breath, and pluck the heart right out your chest. They'll truss you up in your Sunday best. They'll stuff your mouth with cotton.
I had this very beautiful green set of sequins that I fell in love with. They were very, very micro sequins, and I kind of placed them against the garment. And I asked Sophie, I was like, I think I should add a bit of green because it feels like, that bit of spring that Orpheus was singing about in the musical. I forgot the exact line, but he's writing a song and hoping for spring to come again. And I felt like they made a great addition to the design because it helped kind of round off this theme of hope and reincarnation and finding your love again. Because sometimes when we despair, we find out that, if we just stay hopeful, spring does come around. It does get better. And this dress is a symbol of how everything does get better. Not just for the character of Orpheus in Eurydice, but also for me. As a kid, I did not think I would ever live past the age of 18, nor did I ever think I'd be in this position right now, like being a content creator, being a fashion designer.
and being able to make Broadway stars dresses. So this was a huge deal for me, and this became like my sort of masterpiece, like my way of telling my younger self that, hey, it does get better. You just have to stay a little hopeful.
We have twin injuries. We have twin injuries. Twinjuries.
And the stab.
Broken thumb. And the stab. I also wanted to make a few references towards the pomegranate seeds that Persephone ate. So I have a few pieces dangling on the dress. Like if you take a closer look, you'll find that they're spilling out of the flower. So regardless of what kind of flower it is, there's still a reference to the pomegranate seeds that I love very much. I was really afraid that this wouldn't fit in the box, but luckily it fit just exactly. I obviously I haven't stuffed it in properly, but it literally just barely fits in, so that's a win. While Sophie was working on the beading, I was also simultaneously working on the beading because we were on a time crunch. This literally happened like 2 days ago. It is Monday right now, the day before the Leve concert, and I was deadass like day in day out just working on this garment, and I still was running out of time, and I just stayed up for the last 24 hours. I only have 30 minutes of sleep in my system right now, and I'm somehow still up and kicking, and I have to sleep tonight and get ready for Levy tomorrow. But it just goes to show you, when you're doing the job you love, you never feel it. You're not tired at all.
I'm getting
No, you're getting cheated.
paid through burgers instead of a wage. A burger. Sounds like my pizza party.
My only hope was that she shines twice as much in this dress, because I, wanted her to feel beautiful, and I hope I achieved that goal with this dress. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of how it turned out, all in all. I mean, even with such a short deadline, I think I reached my goal, more or less. I'm quite proud of it, and I hope that I can make more of these in the future, whether it's with Eva or other Broadway stars. Star Kid, if you're watching. I would also love to work with other people, not just celebrities, not just influencers or whatever. I'd love to work with everyone. I'm very much open to creating these sorts of pieces. Like if you have the budget, we can make it happen for you. And yeah, I'm always going to be a dreamer, and for me to have achieved one of, not I don't even know if this is like a dream of mine. I feel like it just brings my life full circle to have been able to create for one of the top Broadway actresses of this age, and in my opinion anyway. But it just brings it like full circle for me, because can you imagine like little me finding out that I ended up making a dress for a Broadway star? I feel like she would collapse in shock. I feel like little me would constantly collapse in shock if she learned about all the things I got up to. I feel like little me would honestly be like in a coma if she learned about all the things I got up to after graduating, because I didn't expect to live this long. I've said that already before. So for me to be able to do these kinds of projects brings me so much life and so much passion. And this pretty much like capped a full month of creating, from 5 full bridal looks to my sister's grad ball gown and my leve costume. This is such a full month of art, and I'm so excited to see what the future brings. I'm not sure what is next for me, but I'm definitely excited to see what's coming next. And hopefully this time the ending is a happy one. Until the next video, bye!